It's just under a month to our Arctic expedition when we receive a very special invitation. King Charles III has asked us to meet him at Buckingham Palace in London.
Your Majesty, how are you, sir?
Good to see you, Steve.
So good to see you.
It's a unique opportunity to look back on the royal trip and discuss our upcoming plans.
I'm riveted that you want to do this.
Well,
50 years later.
It's so exciting. I kind of wanted to start with this. So we found this in the Yellowknife Museum. It's the only copy in existence. And this is from your trip back 50 years ago. And it's got some wonderful imagery. Is there anything overwhelming that you remember from that expedition?
Well, diving under the ice. That I vividly remembered. And also failing to get the dog sledge to work because it had snowed overnight before I got there. So there was too much burnt snow, and the dogs couldn't pull it. So then I had to run along behind, which nearly killed me, dressed like that.
Did you find once you actually got started on the dog sledding that it was a really invigorating thing? So
yes, no, it's fantastic. I couldn't agree more. I don't know whether do they still manage that all right up there?
So it's one of the things that's changing most dramatically over time, because now the season in which they can use the... Exactly. But then I guess this opportunity to see how things have changed in this 50 years since you were there is the point of my expedition.
Yes. And I presumably the problem is the wildlife facing these huge changes and trying to adapt, but not be able to do it quick enough.
That's right, yes. Seeing all these images, does it make you nostalgic at all? Does it make you want to go back?
These, well, yes, I think I'm too old to go back. But yes, absolutely. So thank God I was younger in those days. I could never have survived it now.
The Arctic's natural beauty left a lasting impression on the king when he came here half a century ago.
It was amazing in those days, because it was still, thank God, I saw it as it should be, really.
So quite a lot of this, I think, was showing you some of the local customs and local ways of working, building igloos, hunting, those sorts of things.
Yes. I mean, I learnt a great deal from going there.
I brought to the palace an unusual archive clip we unearthed about a very particular local practice.
Prince Charles got a real taste of the North during his visit to the Frobisher Bay Elementary School.
You got ambushed by this young
child,
girl,
yes,
offering you something which I presume you couldn't turn down.
I didn't think I could.
Yes, you eat it raw. It is considered very nice. Everyone knows that raw seal liver is a great delicacy, and it was only polite to offer some to His Royal Highness.
Can we get a paper towel for the prince over there?
Raw seal meat is an important traditional food, high in vital vitamins and other nutrients, but very much an acquired taste to many non-indigenous palates.
Pretty extraordinary. Have you ever tried it?
I haven't.
Raw seal's liver.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable. It took some time to persuade my gullet to work, to swallow it. And then all the people who were with me, when I turned around to say, why did they come and taste them, they'd all disappeared. Never to be seen.
I'm pretty sure I'd have done the same. I'd have scarpered as well. So you talk an awful lot through your work about how important the experience and the knowledge of local people is. Do you think that's particularly true for people living in the Arctic?
Absolutely. Well, they were the ones who had to, who lived there in some amazing symbiotic relationship with their environment. And, for thousands of years, they've developed the most amazing knowledge and wisdom about that area. And I can see how difficult it is for them to adapt, because the changes are so fast. That's the problem, I think. I mean, this is what I've been trying to warn about for years.
When I met King Charles in London, he told me indigenous peoples have a critical role to play in helping ensure the future of the planet.
Their knowledge is absolutely crucial now for helping to rescue the situation, whether it's in terms of climate change or biodiversity loss. But we've forgotten, I think, that we are as well totally interconnected with nature. And the problem is trying to rediscover that connected link between everything. And we've been told that, whatever we do is somehow separate from what happens in the natural world, but it's not. It's what we do to nature is fundamentally a disaster for ourselves.
In 1975, then Prince Charles had his own experience of unruly dogs.
Most of the time, the dogs all got caught up in a kind of cat's cradle in the harness. Unbelievable. Half of them were in season, so half the dogs went berserk about the bitches. It was chaos most of the time.
I've got one piece that I need to show you, which I have to admit, I was flabbergasted when I saw it. This is you out on a skidoo.
Skidoo, yes.
Travelling apparently at 50 miles an hour out across the ice floes. Can you remember the sensation?
Absolutely frozen. I lost all sensation of feeling in my hands and everything. But yeah, it was quite exciting. There was no point in going too slowly, I suppose.
When I met the king, the extreme ice dive was understandably top of his list of memorable activities.
Many of the things that you did must have given your security detail a headache or two, and definitely the one of those I think is going to most take people by surprise is you diving under the ice.
Yes, that I vividly remembered. But I'm afraid I've always tended to live life dangerously.
Well, yes.
Prince Charles learned to scuba dive in the Royal Navy, but had never previously done a dive in the Arctic.
The problem was, it took hours to get into this suit. And then you wonder where the leaks are going to be, because it actually gets extremely cold around. Have you done it?
Yes,
yeah.
And we will be aiming to redo what you did as well. And even now, it's still something that puts your heart in your mouth.
Yeah.
How was it when you actually sat on that ice ledge at the beginning? How did it feel that moment before plunging in?
Well, take a deep breath and try. It's the only answer I found.
There are images here of you actually under the ice. And this is almost the definition of anxiety for most people, just that sense of claustrophobia, of not being able to get out, of the ice over your head. I mean, wasn't that intimidating?
Well, slightly. So you don't quite know what to expect till you get under there. The problem with diving like this is getting your ballast right. And even though I had these buttons to press, which either inflate you or deflate you, it didn't make any difference at all, because old Joe McInnes went down to the bottom, which you could see. This is so clear, the water, incredible. And he kept going like this. And I was literally bobbing up against the underside of the ice. And whenever I did up, I went straight back up. But no, it was a fascinating experience. I wouldn't have missed it, really.
One picture here that I'd love you to tell us about.
Isn't that a bowler hat?
That is a bowler hat.
That's right, yes, we have some marks. Anyway, I thought it'd be rather fun coming back up with the hat on, and I thought I'd chance to fool around.
Do you know what we have the evidence of that? Can I show you?
Yes.
So this is you coming up to the surface with Joe.
With a rather collapsed-looking bowler.
Yes.
I blew the thing up, see how far it would go.
Yes. There is a slight air of the Teletubby about that, if you don't mind me saying.
Tell us how it was. It was splendid. It's very interesting indeed, I must say. Bloody cold.
What? What on earth has happened to him?
Well, I tell you, we put the air in here, you see, and if you now do an amazing...
Look, you see, yes, it was a sort of silly joke, really. Well, I mean, I think to try and, bring the message to as many people as possible of how much it has changed and what this actually means in terms of, the collective human future, let alone the rest of the natural world, where prejudicing their chances of any kind of survival.
From King Charles, that humanity isn't acting on it more quickly.
This is the problem, isn't it? why is it taking so long? By which time it's almost too late to rectify. That's my great worry about it, because you get to a tipping point, which is what all scientists have been talking about. These things are rescuable, but it seems very peculiar to me that in other areas everybody takes what the scientists are saying as absolute vital truth, but in this case, for some reason, it's not so apparently simple. You have to believe that it is still possible, because you have to have hope, but to provide that hope, you have to take the action. I mean, what I can do is behind the scenes, but I mean, it can get very frustrating.
I think,
at least.
I think for a lot of people, their hope will be the fact that this is such a big thing to you and that you continue to speak out on these issues. You know, there's a lot of people in the conservation community who would want to say a massive thank you to you for all you do.
Well, very kind. You have to just go on trying, I find, because I mind for what it's worth about the younger generations. To me, it's not fair to leave them something in a far worse state than I found it, if you know what I mean. The whole point I've always felt is to improve it for people so they don't have a ghastly legacy of horror to have to deal with. That's why I've spent all these years, because I don't want to be accused by my grandchildren of not doing anything about it. That's the key.